What solutions do you think could be put in place to help combat this catch and release issue that comes with bail?
Well, the solution is justice. Not only justice for those who, under our Constitution, may have or may not have committed a crime, but the victims. And all too often we have too many pieces of legislation which are concerned, and understandably, everybody's got to have their day in court, no matter what. You're innocent until proven guilty. I'm the ranker on the tourism committee, and we love people to come tour the state of New York, come to the 44 Saratoga District. Saratoga Springs is wonderful. Lola's is a great place to shop, high-end apparel, handbags. What we don't want is criminal tourism to come to our community and repeat crimes over and over again. This is a consistent thing. It's really become a revolving door of danger and disaster. I talked to Sheriff Zerlo, Chief of Police, Commissioner Cole. What's happening is this is a catch and release. These people commit crimes. Now they come in from other parts of other areas and states and come to our community, not as tourists, but as criminal tourists. And this is not only costing taxpayer dollars, affecting our businesses, it's affecting their safety. I mean, these people had a high-end escape in their vehicle at 5 p.m. Very active driving taking place on the route they were taking. They were speeding. Now, they may not have broken in and attacked somebody, but they could have run into another vehicle, hurt one of our constituents, gotten in an accident. And what we see is this is not their first rodeo. They have a long rap sheet from where they've come from. So maybe it got hot in Washington to see where they were. Well, let's go to Saratoga Springs. Let's get some good things, bring them back and say, what's the answer to this? The answer is to provide real justice for victims and criminals. And in terms of the Constitution, you're innocent before being proven guilty. And that is go back to giving what 49 other states do. And 49 other states do on crimes like this. Speeding, you're impacting, you're dangerous for the people on those roads, or it was a burglary, or you attack somebody in the street and punch them. They're giving them tickets now. You haven't murdered somebody, maybe you haven't seriously injured them, but these are serious crimes where people have been endangered. Many times they're very violent, and many of these lower level violent areas are given tickets, and you're walking out and you're committing these crimes over and over again. And after a number of misdemeanors, after a number of crimes, at least in that sense, we have one bill that says if you're repetitive, or if it's a felony, or if you don't show up, because this is taxpayers' dollars. When Sheriff Zerlo or Chief and their police have to track down these individuals and arrest them, and they're given a ticket, the anecdotal information from them is that they're running. Then they have to rearrest them again. Well, when they have to do that, they're not getting to the other crimes that are taking place. That's taxpayers' dollars, taxpayers' money going to time for our law enforcement officials. So we have two bills. One is a partway bill. The other would repeal the whole thing and do what 49 other states do. Give their judges the discretion to decide if the person before them is or could be a danger to themselves or others. And I think that's fair, that's parity, that's justice. Nothing goes above and beyond protecting innocent, honest, law-abiding citizens.
So the two bills, just to confirm,
yes,
are going to return to judges the power to have the discretion of setting bail. Where's that discretion currently right now?
Well, the discretion is right now for most crimes that take place, unless they're serious crimes. And even when they're serious crimes, we had from Fulton County, and I can give you the name of the woman who had an individual, went into a park, attacked a person there, almost killed them, went before the judge. The judge looked at it and said, this was a serious crime, but according to what I see under the new guidelines of this so-called criminal reform, I have to give this person a ticket to leave. Left that, went to this individual's home, started a fire with a hutch in the backyard. Her father came out, the individual took a knife and stabbed him to death. And that's the types of things that are taking place right now. And all these tweaks that happen, well, we've solved it now. We've solved it now. They haven't solved it with these tweaks. And they may not have to go all the way back to where we were, but you know what they can do? Do something they didn't do when they put this criminal reform, so-called criminal reform in place. Bring the jurists in, the judicial, bring the DAs in, bring law enforcement in, sit down collectively, because they're not professionals in the field. They don't wear a Kevlar vest when they walk out the door. and took an oath of office to get between a predator and a victim that's going to be shot at and have to take that bullet. Bring these professionals in. You know who talks about that? D.A. Soros tells the truth about that. You know, he's no conservative. He's a very liberal guy. But he's seen what's happened with these raise the age. These young people come in, gangs, get a ticket. They didn't provide any services for them. After they walk out, what do? Drive-by shootings start all over again. He's right on that issue. We didn't provide. If you're going to let people walk, you have to provide some services for them so they don't commit more crimes.
So my question, to my understanding, the reason why they put some of these bail reforms in place is because they wanted to ensure that people of a certain income level would be able to not have to sit in jail. So what would you say to ensure that that would not happen?
Let's put a means test in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You commit the same crime, you're going to get cash bail, you're going to be able to pay. This person's a lower level income. Let's means test how much they have to pay. At least at that level, do something like that. They haven't even considered that. Now that would balance it up to a great extent and still protect to some degree innocent, honest, law-abiding citizens. But they don't seem to want to do that. They seem to want to help the criminals and the predators. And that's what this laissez-faire attitude toward this is. And what it's come to is a state that's #1 in out-migration. And we're representatives, so we do a lot of polling, a lot of surveys, and the polls show the same thing. Top 2 issues, affordability, of course, first. But second, or right along with that, public safety is a real issue to our constituents in New York State. 101,000 of our constituents left the state last year. #1 in out-migration. We're one of 7 states that lost another congressman because we lost population. And the polls say it's affordability and it's public safety. Housing's there, mental health is there, nursing homes, but they're the top 2. They double down on those every year or give us small tweaks which don't solve the problem. And this shouldn't be happening to this business person because it's going to put them out of business. And when that happens, we have more people leaving the state of New York.
Do you anticipate that this bill will pass?
If there's enough pressure from the most important part of this representative democracy, and it's not governors, it's not senators, it's not assembly people, it's the voters. If they put enough pressure on leading up to this election that, hey, enough is enough. We understand the problem, but do something to even the score a little bit for the innocent, honest, law-abiding citizens.
So the basics are, the solution you are proposing is putting discretion for bail back in the hands of judges, and then to ensure economic equity, so to speak, in terms of people not just sitting in jail, is to do like a means test when it comes to how much can they afford to pay, basically, when you set the bail.
That could be a part of it. But again, I think you have to bring in the professionals to talk about all of these potential equalizing the justice system so it's more balanced now. It's falling lower on the innocent, honest, law-abiding citizens, and it's continued to provide more justice, if you can call that justice, for those who perpetrate these crimes.
Mm-hmm. Rick, anything?
No, I think we're good.
All right.
All right, anything else from you, or?
I think that covers
Yeah, I
it.
think
Yeah.
so.